using exam view to create test banks for Canvas or Learning Zone. First of all, I'm going to go to exam view, and I do that by going to the window, typing in exam, and you notice there are multiple things to choose from. You want the test generator, not the test manager, not the bank manager, test generator. And when that comes up, a window will come up asking you to sign in, and you can go ahead and do that. Don't know why, but it should open hopefully the correct thing when we're done here. All right, so you notice when it opens up, up at the top it says Exam View Test Builder. You want to create a new test using the wizard. Name your test. We recommend using the name of the course with the test because this will be important later on. You want to go ahead and copy that. We usually put the name of the course in the chapter of the test bank that we're working on. You can put additional information. This is just going to be on the test bank. You say next, you go to the correct test bank and the correct chapter. In this case, I'm doing chapter 1, and I say next. And here it gives you the option of multiple choice or multiple response, and you tell it how many questions you want. We usually just do the multiple choice and true-false questions. We don't use the multiple response. If you do want to do those, I suggest creating a separate test bank with just those in them. Sometimes we have problems with them. Okay, so you say next and finish, and now you have your test bank. It looks like it's on paper, but now we want to create a test bank to put into Canvas. So we're going to come here to File in the top left corner and go down to Export. And here we're going to select the very bottom one. It says WebCT CE6 Vista something. WebCT is an old LMS that we actually used to use, but that's not relevant. It's what we need to use to create what's called a QTI file, which is a quiz bank file or a test bank file that we can put into Canvas. So we're going to say export as a WebCT, and then you want to make sure you know where it's going to be exported to so that when you go into Canvas, you can import it in there. So I'm going to go to my desktop, type in NR221 as, whoops, I'm sorry, I'm going to create a folder, NR221 tests, make sure it's named well. You can always move it later to your documents or something, but this way you have your test banks all together. I'm going to go into that folder, and then here I'm going to paste that title that I put on everything and save it. And I want it to be a test file. I say OK. So now that's all you had to do for that. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and we're going to go into a course. This is actually my sandbox. I'm going to go into the home page. There isn't much in here. This isn't regular course. Normally you would see modules here, but this is just to show you what it looks like when you import this. So you have two places you can import existing content from the top right corner, or you can come down here to Settings and select Import Course Content from here. I suggest doing this because it makes more sense. Import course content. It'll lead you to the same place, but just so you know how to get there. So you want to the course content type, you're going to select QTI file. Then you're going to choose the file, and remember we created that file on your desktop. So I'm going to go to the desktop and to that file. And there it is. And then I'm going to import. We don't do anything else here or select anything else. Now, once you have imported it, you will notice that There are a couple funny things about exam view tests when you pull them into Canvas. First of all, to get to, and now it's complete, so we're going to go look at the tests that just got imported. We're going to go to quizzes. If you go to quizzes, you notice that this is the quiz I just pulled in, or this one, they're both exactly the same. You notice that they have 2,500 points and 25 questions, which suggests that each question is worth 100 points. That's a flaw or a feature of importing from ExamView. So I would recommend that you don't use these because it's more trouble than it's worth to fix that. But you can create a new quiz and pull in questions from the test bank. So I'm going to show you where the test bank is. If you're in quizzes, you need to go up here to the top right corner to the option menu or three little dots and select Manage Question Banks. And these are exactly the same. I did one just earlier today, but this one you can tell was pulled in later, so this is the one I just did. Notice it does not name it correctly. It names it with the name of the course that I'm pulling in. So you want to do these imports or import these test banks individually because once you pull them in, you will not be able to tell what they are. They will all be named the same. So I'm going to the pencil next to it, and I'm going to paste that same name I put on everything else to replace the name that it had to begin with. That way, when I go back to quizzes and I create a new quiz, I'm going to go name this Chapter 1. Oops, get that out of there. Chapter 1 test. And I go to questions. When I go to find questions, it's going to show me, remember I named it with NR 221 at the front, so I believe these are alphabetical, yes, and there's NR 221, Chapter 1, and I can just select all of those questions and add the questions. Now, oops, you notice it is pulled in with 100 points. Your options are you can change each one individually by editing the question. And selecting update the question to save it. Or the other option is, I'm going to go back here to quizzes. When you create a new quiz, we'll name this Chapter 1 test. And questions, you're going to find the questions. We're going to do the same thing, only instead of putting them just in the test, we're going to put them in a test group. So I'm going to select all of these. And down at the bottom where it says no group, I'm going to select create group. And this is just going to be Chapter 1. There were 20, I think 24 questions. I'll change this later. I'll say 25 for now. And here you can change it so it's 1 point per question. That way it doesn't matter. Yeah, there were 25 questions, and I just am going to put them in that group. Now, each of those questions, it doesn't matter what points are on them. They're all worth 1 point each. And then you save and publish. Now remember, once you publish, students will have access to that, so make sure that's what you would like. And you can test it by going back to quizzes, make sure that their total on the questions is worth the same. So your options are to either change the points individually on the questions. You can do it either in the test bank, or you can do it in the test itself, or you can pull them into a test group and make that setting on the test group tell you what each question is worth. So to get to the test banks, you go to quizzes, up to the option menu, and manage test banks. If you have any questions, contact onlineed@hcc.edu. Thank you.